Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Right, I have no idea what I'm gonna call this video, okay? This is just going to be a pretty weird, very specific sort of ranting video, right? It follows up to my last video, check that out if you haven't seen it. By the way, I'm sorry that video came out so late, like a good, 3 days or so after the Nintendo Direct actually aired, because it was a 20-minute video, right? And it took like 5 hours to render, okay? This PC over here is shite, okay? I need to get that replaced badly, right? So that I can render. God knows how long this is going to take to render. It's Saturday night right now. I'm hoping to hit up for, Sunday evening at some point. Maybe Monday, I don't know, we'll see. But whatever. I basically want to talk about Shin Megami Tensei, okay? Specifically, I want to talk about Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem and further elaborate on the sort of points that I made in that video, because there's a lot to talk about there, and I feel like I want to elaborate more and, make it seem like I actually know what the fuck I'm talking about sometimes. Just sometimes I want to feel like that, okay? Right. So what was it I said about Shin Megami X Fire Emblem in that video? I said it was too Japanese. Okay, and I didn't mean it as an insult or anything, I was just making an observation because looking at it, it is really Japanese, but why does that bother me? Why am I just raising my eyebrows at this and thinking, tutting my lips like, it's too Japanese, right? When, you all probably watch this channel and think, Duck, you love fucking JRPGs, you love them to death, and you're right, I do, I have so many JRPGs here, it's unbelievable, and I'm always playing one, Whenever I finish one, I go right on to another. That's how I live my life right now, playing 60-hour games non-stop. So what's the problem? Well, I've recently been playing through this, okay? Persona 4 Golden. I'm loving this game. I am loving it so much, right? I actually, a good few years ago, played it, for the PS2. And I got 60 fucking hours into it, and I stopped. Why did I stop? Because it was fucking too hard, alright? I got to a boss. It was totally on me, by the way. It's not necessarily a hard game. It was on me. Absolutely, right? I just couldn't, beat this boss, and I just dropped it, And it's one of my biggest gaming regrets, and I have every, intention of going back to it. And now that Persona 4 Golden is there, I'm gonna go for that now. But the thing is, why am I bringing up Persona 4? Well, basically, the Persona series and Shin Megami X Fire Emblem, I feel like they land in a particular niche, okay? A niche not that similar to what a hardcore JRPG fan wants, right? What the fuck am I talking about, right? Why, before any of you get the idea, I'm not shitting on this game, right? This is if you were to tell me this is the greatest JRPG ever, I would be okay with that. I probably wouldn't agree, but if, say, I would totally agree in that it deserves to be, up there. It is one of the finest JRPGs there is, right? It is. Not a big personal favourite, but, I'm not going to be closed-minded just because I'm not I don't like it as much as everybody else. But, you see, the thing is, I've been talking with a friend, right? I have this friend who loves Persona, right? And up until fairly recently, he was not into, any JRPGs at all. And let me bring up an example here. Digital Devil Saga, right? This is a Shin Megami Tensei game, right? This is also a Shin Megami Tensei game, right? Persona is a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series, and in this case, the spin-off became... It rolled pretty far from the tree. It's in terms of how it is and in terms of popularity, because Persona is massive, especially the new. You look at all the Persona games, there's so many coming out. There's the fucking fighting games, there's the Persona Q Etrian Odyssey spin-off, there's a fucking dancing game coming out, right? Everybody loves Persona, okay? It's actually got to a point where it's sort of mainstream now, okay? Now, am I pulling the hipster card on you, saying that Persona 4 is too mainstream? Not necessarily, okay? I'm not gonna bullshit and say that's not all of it, because There's a little bit of a hipster in all of us, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from enjoying a great game. And again, playing Persona 4 right now, absolutely loving it. But, right, I'm gonna start using a word here, and I want to clarify my usage of it, right? A game like Digital Devil Saga is a game that's for your sort of like hardcore JRPG enthusiast, right? Whereas a game like Persona is kind of for weeaboos. Okay, now let me explain my stance, what I mean when I'm saying weeaboo. I'm not meaning it in a negative sense. Not at all, right? I consider myself a wee bit of a weeaboo, right? To me, a weeaboo is just somebody that, you know, really likes Japanese stuff, to the point where they will give something a chance before something else just because it is Japanese, you know? It's just their preference, it's what they like, you know? They like what the country does, they like the style of it, whatever, you know? That's kind of what a weeaboo is to me. And that, I feel, is the big difference, and that's what makes Persona 4 so successful, where the other Shin Megami Tensei games kind of lag behind, you know? It's the fact that this sort of targets the weeaboo demographic, and this one is for your hardcore JRPG fans. And a lot of people probably think that weeaboo and hardcore JRPG gamer kind of go hand in hand. To me, not really, okay? I consider myself, you know, a more hardcore JRPG gamer, okay? That doesn't mean I can't enjoy something targeted to weeaboos, especially when it's a shining example of excellence in the genre. Again, which Persona 4 is. I'm okay with saying this is the best Shin Megami Tensei game, you know? I played 60 hours of it, didn't beat it, but I can make that claim. I've not even played enough Shin Megami Tensei, you know, I haven't played as much as I would want to, you know? This was like, I played both Digital Devil Saga games, loved them, you know? They don't have that sort of like weeaboo appeal, you know? It's not set in high school, you know, it's not very, you know, moe, I should say. It's definitely not moe. And it doesn't have like a lot of like really catchy sort of J-pop stuff. Now, those features I just listed, right, don't make a game bad, they don't. But they are appealing to that of a weeaboo, you know? And what other game also has these traits that I just listed? Shin Megami X Fire Emblem, right? Now, you look at Shin Megami Tensei, again, not necessarily Persona, but other Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem. That's not really a weeaboo those aren't really weeaboo titles, you know? They're definitely that of hardcore JRPG. You know, that's the sort of games that they like, because they're both really good series, is renowned for their difficulty, that, you know, they're not like overlay moe or that. Fire Emblem Awakening, when that came out, you know, just a couple of years ago, that was pretty close, you know, that introduced like a sort of more social, more romantic moe aspect to it, you know, which ended up making it better, you know. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people really sort of like that game. But that's, see, that's the sort of thing I meant when I said that Shin Megami X Fire Emblem is too Japanese, you know. It's not like Shin Megami Tensei or Fire Emblem. It's kind of, you know, it looks like it's something that targets the sort of like weeaboo demographic before it targets the hardcore JRPG demographic, you know? And again, we only saw a 2-minute trailer, maybe I'm wrong, right? But aesthetically, looking at the art style, you kinda get that impression, you know? That's totally what it looks like. And I don't know, it just makes me yearn for something more akin to old school Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei, you know, something a bit more of a dark tone, because again, this is not like moe or weeaboo-esque in the slightest. It's a really dark, really hard JRPG, and that's what the SMT games are like, you know, supposed to be known for. And again, I've not played enough, like, what is it? I've got friggin' Lucifer's Call up here, I've got like one of the Devil Summoner games. I need to get around to more SMT. I've also played like SMT 4 for the 3DS and Soul Hackers for 3DS too, you know, brilliant games, but not very weeaboo centric, you know. So what point am I making? What point am I making? I don't know. This was just an observation I made that I wanted to, you know, get off my chest, basically. Because the thing is, I'm still gonna buy Shin Megami X Fire Emblem, right? I'm sure it's gonna be as good as this, you know? I'm sure it is. I just think that maybe the name is a bit off, I guess. Like, it's Shin Megami X Fire Emblem, you know? Sure, you're like taking things from both series, but it doesn't really resemble either series in a way that, you know, as a hardcore JRPG fan would, you know, find as appealing, you know? You know, the things that attract me to SMT and Fire Emblem weren't present in that trailer. That's basically what I'm saying, you know? But again, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm not crapping on anybody if you are looking forward to this game. Because of its art style, because of it's set in high school, you know, I'm not shitting on you at all, okay? For the most part, I'd probably agree with you, you know, I dig that stuff too. I'm a little bit of a weeaboo also. I'm just trying to make an observation, so that's that. Yeah, I'm gonna go play some more Persona 4. I'm absolutely loving this game, and I'm looking forward to SMT/Fire Emblem, so yeah, that's that, guys. See you after. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.